So why don't we work together, left and right, to say we support laws that disallow kids from transitioning before the age of 18. We will not, it will be against the law to transition a kid under the age of 18. Would you
Yeah,
be for
can't do
that,
it.
given what I just said?
No, I mean, and the only thing I have to defend against that would be a slippery slope argument. Like when anything else that might come about in the future, are we going to restrict people's rights
Well, that's a very
in that way?
okay. Okay,
I
you know
don't
what?
know.
This is a good challenge for me. Let's compromise, though. Let's pretend you and I represent the major two parties in the United States, and basically we have huge influence in the world. And so let's actually try to compromise. Okay, so we've
Okay.
hit a roadblock
Hmm.
on that one issue. So how can we compromise here? Any suggestions?
Um,
Because my stance
everything
is
just
illegal, can't do it. Your stance is no, we should be able to do it. It shouldn't be illegal.
well,
Maybe we could
no,
have a
that's
compromise
not my
somehow.
stance. My stance is more agnostic. I don't know. I like literally don't know, Doug. I can't
Well,
answer
wait a
the
minute.
question.
Okay, well, let me
But
ask you again.
I'm not willing to say hard yes. I'm not willing to say hard
Well, let me
no.
ask you the same question
I
again because
think
maybe you've
that it
changed
should
it.
go by the evidence at hand.
Would you support legislation that made it illegal for kids under the age of 18 to transition? Would you support that?
No, I would
Okay,
not
you didn't say
support
I
that.
don't know. You said no.
Right. I'm trying to give you
So now, so we're at a roadblock,
an
right? We
answer
disagree.
that's yes or no.
So let's find a compromise. Let me propose a compromise.
Sure.
Um, okay, we will allow transitioning under very strict conditions. How does it sound so far? Under the age of 18. Over the age of 18, anybody can do whatever they want.
It's I mean it's a bit vague still, but
Right,
it's
it's vague,
better. It
but
makes me feel more comfortable.
right, you're starting to feel more comfortable. Okay, now let's
Mhm.
figure out from someone who leans left, someone who leans right, what these restrictions could be that we would both say, okay,
I think that
I'm feeling better about this.
I think it's kind of like my point of view on guns, right? Like the only way you should be allowed to have something that kills people so easily is if you go through a lot of training and understanding and background
Yes.
checks and all that other stuff. So like the more restrictions, the better, right? So I would say that the larger hurdle that we put into place, um, the better, up until the point of completely restricting it.
Okay, so
So
would you be for, let me propose something very specific. Transitioning under the age of 18 is legal only if there's a, um, I'll throw it out there, we can negotiate, a 2 year waiting period from the time the person first, minimum 2 years waiting period from the time the child first says, I'm trans, to the point of actual transitioning starts.
yeah, I would even go up even maybe
Okay,
four.
two, three, four
Uh,
years.
but I would also say that they would have to have some sort of like counseling, like some sort of like medical counseling or something. You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. Okay, so let's talk
Psychological
about that.
something.
Medical
Yeah,
counseling. I feel very uneasy because I do not trust psychologists. Don't trust them.
sure.
I trust
What about a
chemists. I
medical
trust
doctor?
physicists. I don't trust psychologists. Okay. Uh,
What about a medical doctor that would talk about at a certain age, like right, you couldn't go so young, but at a certain age, right? If we're going to start allowing, even with these restrictions, um, then I think that there should be a large hurdle there too, and it should be that somebody should evaluate whether they understand the finality of the surgery and the extensiveness of
yeah.
the surgery.
Yeah. Very good. I agree with all that, but I would want to propose something here. In the legislation, it states minimum 2 year or 3 year period from the time the child says, I want to transition to the time that it actually does. B in the legislation would read something like the child has to be assessed by a minimum of 5 psychologists, and the 5 psychologists cannot all be of one political party.
Hmm. So
and it
political
has to
party
be,
matters to you in this?
yeah, it's because this is a very political issue, and so
Is it?
you can give me a counter, but let me finish this. It has to be five psychologists, not all of the same party. So it has to be at least, let's say, one or two Republicans out of the five, and it has to be unanimous that this child's transitioning is paramount, that it has for their well-being, and that they can't wait until after age 18. Would you agree with that legislation?
Hmm. I'm having trouble finding a retort. So
It's very
I'm going to
reasonable what
say
I
yes.
said, right?
I guess I could say yes. Temporarily, I would say yes to that.
Yes,
Maybe
we did it.